and welcome to How to Husqvarna with Husqvarna. Today we're talking generators in terms of maintenance, what you should and shouldn't do, and how do you keep your machine in tip-top shape so that it doesn't load shed at some stage. David, how are you doing?
Goed, dankie met jou.
Yeah, rustig.
Dis goed, man.
Things are going. Okay, cool.
No.
So in the previous video, we basically just talked about exactly how the machine works, how do you select your different generators and so forth. Now we're looking at maintenance. Okay, so I've got a new machine here. What are the things that I need to look for?
All right, first things first. In your little booklet that you got with your generator, at the back is the entire maintenance schedule.
The one that I don't read.
Yeah, generally that is the one that the guys don't read.
Because for some reason I know better than, it's like my wife, did you read the instructions? Now I'll figure it out.
Yeah, most guys.
So it's important to go in the back of that booklet, and there it gives you a schedule. Okay?
It actually gives you a schedule. So let's think about your vehicle, like we mentioned in the previous video. 10 hours is an important oil change.
Okay, why?
Because they are fine particles, because it's a new machine, it's running in, so it's working off fine material inside your motor. So you want to get that dirt out of your oil. The oil's not finished, it's not run its lifespan yet, but you want to get that dirt out so you can keep a clean motor so it can keep running longer.
100%. And there's just one way to get those things. It's like it's been worn in a little bit, and then you take out the oil and then you're good to go, and then you go into your cycles.
Correct. So 10 hours is a very important oil change, and that's mainly to do all the run-in filings that happen inside the motor. Then you'll see on your schedule every 50 hours is an oil change. Now, how are you going to know if your generator ran 50 hours?
No clue. Can you tell me?
Right. On your display screen here, there's an hour meter. So when your generator is running, you'll see it comes up with volts, with hours and hertz. You keep an eye on your hour meter. So when your generator gets to about 10 hours, you're going to change the first set of oil. It's not necessary for air filters and that, because by then it's almost just run in the motor. It's not even dirtied anything yet. But at 50 hours, when your generator gets there, then we're going to do another oil change. Then we need to look at air filters and maintenance on that schedule. All right, so it's great talking about an oil change. That's where I put the oil in. So where do I take it out?
I have got no clue.
Right, so if you're like most of the guys who don't know these machines, most people want to tip the motor. Now,
that would have been my first thing, or I would have put it on like 2 chairs and tried to drain it like almost like a mechanic going underneath a pit. All
right, so these machines are not light. I don't want you to get hurt. So what you're going to get is
You're underestimating my strength here.
Okay, we're not going to go down that road. Right, but get a normal 2-liter ice cream bucket. Right, and what you're simply going to do is right over here. There's a screw.
Okay.
And you're going to loosen that, and the oil is actually going to come out.
And so you just drain it from there?
Drain it from here. So you can get your ice cream bucket underneath here, and you can actually just drain it from there.
And what I want to know as well is that I've seen when I ran it for a bit, and I put it back, so I take it out of the garage here so that the fumes go outside just as a temporary solution. We're still waiting for the electrician. We'll still get to the what not to do in terms of how you connect these things. Not always boermaker plan.
No, please.
Not always like that. But then I saw that, but when it's standing, it drips a little bit of oil on the floor. What is that?
Okay, so what it could be. Number one, I see here on your driveway it's a little bit skew, so your machine is standing skew. It could be a little bit of oil running back into your air filter, which you don't want.
So it needs to be on a straight surface.
It needs to be on a flat surface. The other thing is, when last did you check the bolts on your generator?
Never.
Okay, so it does vibrate. Despite how tight we make things, with vibration.
And especially with a new machine. Because I know that on the tractors, for example, if you've got a new rim that's sprayed, it doesn't matter how tight you put those nuts, you drive around with it like for an hour, and then you come and you torque those nuts again because the paint in between, it just gets loose.
Correct. So you have a similar situation here. You just want to make sure that all the nuts, especially on the bottom one, is tight, so you don't lose your oil and you don't end up missing oil on your nice bricks.
Don't want to do that at all. So then all I need to do is just make sure that that thing is tight, but also, okay, so the maintenance thing. And then every 50 hours, I just need to take out the oil. And do I then replace the air filters as well?
Correct. So this is where your maintenance schedule comes in.
Yes.
You'll see in the back of the book, it tells you exactly when to check what.
Okay, and like magic, we've got a dog and a manual. So
yes, magic.
So just quickly, in terms of what type of oil should I then use on the generator?
All right, so if you have a look in your manual, you will see that there are different heat conditions.
Yep.
But in South Africa, we range from about -10, -12 in the cold regions to about 30 odd, 35 odd degrees in the warmer regions. So there we would suggest a 10W30.
So 10W30, if you can get there, page 16, if you just want to make sure. Page 16 on that basically tells you, and it also gives you a good diagram there of the oil levels.
Correct. Now, how far do I fill it? That is also a question that often gets asked. Now, if we open up here...
Until it's full.
Yes, but you don't need a longer dipstick, okay? So there we can see there's the oil here, right onto the dipstick, but what you want is you want it right to the edge over here when you fill it, so that you can make sure. Remember, this machine has an oil sensor in it, so that's why it's important to run it level.
So if it hasn't got enough oil on it, it will not start.
It won't start, or it will shut down.
But that's good.
Yes.
So if it just shuts down and I've got enough fuel in it, oil.
Correct.
Awesome.
Now, you're not going to be changing spark plugs every 50 hours, but it could be required. You need to check it. So depending on how hard your machine has worked or what the situation is
how dependable Eskom was.
Yes, and in how short a period, you might need to service those things. And there you need to take it to a dealer, let them open up and make sure that everything is right. But an air filter, you and I can change.
Yep.
So those are on this side of the machine.
So let me just see. I like this handle that you put in front.
Yes, it makes our lives easy, doesn't it? All right. So on this side of the machine, you will see there are instructions on how to start it.
Ah.
Okay. The first one we have here is the choke, and that's this little orange lever that we have here.
Yep.
So when we use that image there, you can see it says push the choke this way, push the choke this way, and when it starts running, push the choke back. Now, a very important one is, have you ever started your generator and then it just dies?
I've never done that.
Not yet.
It literally starts every time, so
Okay.
I was very impressed.
Well, I've done it because I forgot this very important one over here, and this is the fuel tap. So when your generator stands for a while, you don't want the fuel in your tank to be running through your carburetor.
Okay.
It just prevents your tank from emptying out should there be a leak somewhere on your machine.
So this is just for
That's a fuel.
yeah,
fuel tap.
just like on the motorbikes.
Yes,
fuel
like a fuel tap. So what I do is I switch mine off, and then when I start my generator, I forget it. Open up the tap, and then it dies.
You see, I'm lazy. I just keep it open.
Okay, so you need to push it down. Obviously, we'll go through the starting procedure on the front, but then if you have a battery, you don't need to use this rewind starter.
Yep.
But if your battery is flat, you can still start it.
And just to make sure, because it started so easily, I was like, well, why do I need a battery? But as you say, if you're not at home, you want someone else to be able to start it, and you've also got like a little remote thing which you can start it with.
Yeah, not officially.
Not officially.
There are people that have done that.
Yeah.
Remember, any change that you do to the machine removes the warranty.
Okay, I'm with you.
So those are not the standard
so it's something that that third-party service providers do.
Correct.
But if you screw around with the machine, you're screwing around with the warranty.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So we've digressed now, unfortunately. So let's go back to the air filter. This is actually quite easy. One down. We'll simply loosen it. Loosen it.
You see how many times I've opened that?
Yeah, I see you've never opened this before. All right, so there's your air filter. And what you'll notice is here's your sponge filter.
But my question is, I mean, I don't have any dust or anything here. Why is that thing going to clog up like at 50 hours?
So it won't necessarily clog up, but you do need to clean it.
Yeah.
Remember, even your car, if you're traveling on the highways, still gets up dust. So the dust that you have, I mean, the wind's blowing a little bit today, so you're going to have dust floating around. So what all you want to do is you want to take out your air filter. So you'll notice here there is a little bit of marking on your air filter.
Yes.
You just want to rinse this out, and there you can see there's a bit of a
so
spatter.
With what will I rinse this out then?
So
sunlight liquid?
Sunlight liquid and water.
Okay.
Right, remember sunlight liquid, you and I, when we have a braai, you don't go to the garage and pour petrol over your hands.
Yeah.
Firstly, petrol is really expensive, and the way we braai, I don't think it's a great idea having hands full of petrol.
Yeah, and I don't really like that petrol taste so much.
No. So what you're going to do is lukewarm water and sunlight liquid, rinse it out nicely, and then remember, you can't put it back wet. It needs to be dry.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to suck in all the moisture into
all the moisture into the engine, and that's going to give you a problem. So my suggestion is, these aren't expensive. Get a second one.
Yeah.
So when you get to 50 hours, because this is normally what happens, is we wash it and we go put it on the rack. Okay, now Eskom switches off. We've already closed the cover.
Yeah.
We forget to put the air filter back.
And a few hours later, oh, my generator is now on permanent load shedding.
Yes, and we don't want to do that.
Yes.
So the easy option is grab an extra air filter. So the moment you take the dirty one or the used one out, take the new one, put it in, close it up, and you know it's fine to go. You can then go wash it and then put it on the shelf. Next time when you want to service your generator, take the clean one, take the dirty one out, put the clean one in, close it.
And then basically you just keep doing that for every 50 hours, and those things will last a while. I mean, as you say, they're cheap, so you can just go and buy another two if you want for the next cycle.
Okay, so a couple of things that I've noticed that happens is when the guys put these in, this happens.
Yeah.
Okay, because it stays. He doesn't look properly, he's a bit in a hurry. And
you're standing above here and you just go like, okay, no, it's in.
It's in, and then you close it.
But then it sucks in the air.
Sucks in air there. Or the other one is this. Now they put the cover on and it actually has an air gap. So when you put it in, make sure that the sponge filter goes in snugly.
Yep.
You'll see there's a rim here, and you'll notice there's these channels here. And those channels are actually flowing the dirty air away from your air filter.
Oh, so they're almost like creating some type of vortex effect, and that basically throws out the, let's say, because you can see here, most of the dust is sticking here to these things, and then it's getting cleaner air.
Air. I mean, think about
physics 101.
Think about your tumble dryer.
Yeah.
When you throw the wet clothes in and it starts spinning, where do the clothes sit? On the middle or on the outside?
Yeah, on the outside, yeah.
So what we're doing is we're spinning the air and we're throwing the heavy stuff outside, and we're taking the cleaner air out of the middle.
That's awesome.
It's going to lengthen your lifespan of your air filter. Right, and then when we've finished cleaning our air filters, we're going to put it back. Remember to click it over. That one is sometimes you might have to look, but there you can see it is now tight.
And then it's done, and it's
done and dusted.
So, and if I just keep doing this on its cycles, I will not have to take this to a dealer to get serviced. Is that fine, or is there some?
No, there is a point where you need to. It's the same as your car.
Yeah.
You can change the oil, you can change the air filter, but those finer little details, those little things that you and I don't look at every day, those are what your dealerships are going to do.
What's your recommendation? Every how many hours I should just load this on the back of a bucky or whatever and just get it to a dealer?
So, if you are maintaining it yourself.
Yeah.
And you're doing it on your schedule. So every 50 hours, you keep doing it every time. I would suggest that at every 100 hours, take it into a dealership, say to them, please just go through the machine. Because they're going to look through exactly what you're looking through and more. Now you're going to go, but 50 hours, I mean, that's every
month.
Every month.
Yeah.
So go through your things. If you have your generator standing for a long time period, take it in, let them go through it. Make sure that the carburetor isn't blocked, that you don't have dirt coming through on your fuel. Because you and I both know petrol isn't the same depending on where you buy it. So
definitely,
some of it is cleaner, some of it is dirtier. And I mean, if you're a farmer, the petrol's out in a tank outside.
Yeah, definitely. It's in a shed somewhere. Yeah.
Or shed somewhere, and we don't know what's happening there. So,
and I mean, then because you've got things like the fuel filter as well, which can get clogged up and all of that, and that's at the end of the day, dealer must sort that out for you.
Let them sort those smaller details.
So, and I'm pretty sure that if let's say I don't have access to a bucky or whatever the case might be, is there some dealers that actually come out to your house and come and service these things? How does that work?
I say most of the dealers, and I do stand under correction. A lot of the dealers, if you phone them up and go, listen, I'm a woman alone at home, I can't pick this thing up. Can you guys organize a pickup for me? They'll probably come to the house, pick it up, take it into the workshop. Doing it in field, as we would say, sometimes a bit complicated. You're not 100% sure what you're going to need or what you're going to come and find. So normally they would take it into the dealership, and I'm sure if you ask them nicely, most guys will help you out.
Okay, so that's it for maintenance 101 on your generator, specifically your Husqvarna machines. Check out, we're going to do another few videos as well as what not to do when you are installing your generator. Yeah, he's laughing. It's very funny. That's it from How to Husqvarna with Farm Space. Till next time. Cheers.